The archive opens on the banks of a river in northern India. The year is uncertain, perhaps 2,000 years before Christ, perhaps earlier. A healer kneels at the water's edge. The river runs brown with monsoon silt. The tree behind them, tall, slender, feathery leaves that move like fingers combing the wind. They call it shigru, the arrow that pierces disease. The healer crushes seeds between two flat stones, stirs the powder into the water, and waits. By morning, the river is clear. They did not call it purification. They called it letting the river remember what it was. In the villages of West Africa, when the river ran brown after the rains, the elders would walk to the moringa tree, not in a hurry, never in a hurry. They had no name for cationic proteins. They had something better. They had 4,000 years. This tree has 13 names. Shigru in Sanskrit, malunggay in the Philippines, drumstick tree in India, nebedaye in Senegal, and nebedaye means never die. Sajan, Kalor, Bentry, Zogale. The United Nations gave it a 9th name, the miracle tree. 13 civilizations looked at this tree and gave it a name. That does not happen by accident. A tree with 13 names is a tree 13 civilizations refused to forget. And yet, somehow, you were never told. A $2 seed, 99% bacteria removal. The United Nations documented it in 1983. The World Health Organization confirmed it in 2008. And the $4.5 billion water filter industry made sure you never heard a single one of those 13 names. The year is 1817, colonial India. A British Army surgeon named James Kempthorne is stationed near the Ganges Basin. His soldiers are dying, not from combat, from water. The forest was dense, the heat unbearable. The rivers carried cholera, typhoid, dysentery, diseases that killed more soldiers than any battlefield. The local population showed Kempthorne a tree, tall, slender, feathery leaves. They crushed its seeds into the contaminated water. Within 45 minutes, the water was visibly transformed. Bacterial counts dropped by 99%. Kempthorne documented everything: measurements, observations, results. The British military filed the report, categorized it, and forgot it. 160 years passed before anyone looked at it again. In 1981, a researcher named Dr. Samia Alaria John at the University of Khartoum in Sudan ran the first modern laboratory tests on moringa seed powder. She crushed the seeds, stirred them into contaminated Nile water, and measured. The results matched what Kempthorne had seen 160 years earlier, what the Ayurvedic healers had known for 2,000 years before that. Science did not fail moringa. Science validated moringa. The failure was in the distribution. The United Nations confirmed it in 1983. The World Health Organization in 2008. The University of Ghana in 2012. The Journal of Water and Health in 2016. 4 institutions, 4 decades, 4 validations. And nothing changed. Every generation rediscovers this tree. Every system buries it again. My grandmother would crush 3 seeds every morning. She would drop them into the clay pot by the door, the one with the crack along the rim that she refused to replace. She never called it purification. She called it letting the water rest. What your grandmother knew instinctively, modern science can now explain precisely. Inside every moringa seed is a protein, a cationic protein, meaning it carries a positive electrical charge. Contaminants in water, bacteria, sediment, parasites, organic matter, carry a negative charge. They are too small to settle on their own. They float. They hide. They resist. When Moringa seed powder enters the water, the positively charged proteins bind to the negatively charged contaminants. They cling to each other. They form clusters, heavier, denser, and those clusters sink to the bottom. Scientists call this flocculation. Your grandmother called it letting the water rest. This is the exact same process used in municipal water treatment plants across the developed world. The exact same principle. The difference? Municipal plants use aluminum sulfate, synthetic, industrial. And the byproduct, the sludge left behind, is classified as toxic waste. Moringa leaves zero chemical residue, zero toxic sludge, zero industrial byproduct. The University of Ghana, 2012. Real river water, real Moringa seeds. Cost under $2. Turbidity reduction 98.3%. E. coli removal 99.1%. Coliform bacteria 97.8%. The Journal of Water and Health, 2016. Head-to-head comparison. Moringa versus aluminum sulfate. Moringa outperformed and left nothing behind. The factory copies the forest. The forest does not copy the factory. Nature does not manufacture. Nature engineers. And nature's engineering does not generate toxic sludge. So the question is obvious. If this works, and the data says it works, then why is this not on the shelf of every outdoor store in America? Why is it not in every emergency kit? Why is it not taught in every survival course? Follow the money. The global water filtration market is valued at $4.5 billion. Brita, Life Straw, Sawyer, Katadyn, Berkey, zero water. Their business model is elegant and ruthless. Sell the device, sell the replacement, collect recurring revenue. Quarter after quarter, year after year. You cannot build a subscription model around a seed that grows in your backyard. You cannot charge recurring fees for a seed that self-multiplies. You cannot patent a cationic protein that has existed for 4,000 years. And there is one more barrier. The EPA. In the United States, for Moringa to be officially approved as a water purification method, it would require approximately $3 million in regulatory testing. No small farmer has that. No university research department has the incentive. The only entities with that kind of capital are the corporations who already sell the alternative. And none of them ever would. That is not oversight. That is architecture. Deliberate and sustained. You cannot patent 4,000 years of evolution. But they tried. And when they failed, they erased the evidence. This video is not about water. Water was the first burial, but it was not the only one. In the Philippines, they call it malunggay. Every grandmother knows it. It goes into the soup, the tinola, and no one questions it. No one writes a research paper about it. It is simply what you do. What grandmothers have always done. Moringa leaves contain 7 times the vitamin C of oranges, 4 times the calcium of milk, twice the protein of yogurt, all 9 essential amino acids in a single leaf. Over 90 documented nutrients. The National Institutes of Health called it the most nutritious plant ever discovered. That is not a supplement. That is a pharmacy. Growing in your garden. There are over 1,300 published studies on PubMed, the United States' own medical research database, documenting Moringa's effects on inflammation, blood sugar regulation, and cholesterol. This is documented research from peer-reviewed journals, not medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your health routine. But 1,300 studies is not a trend. It is a verdict, and there is more. The oil pressed from moringa seeds is called ben oil. When archaeologists opened Egyptian pharaohs' tombs, sealed for 3,000 years, they found vessels of ben oil, still preserved, still usable, 3,000 years without going rancid. Today, ben oil is used in cosmetics, cooking, and preservation. And after the oil is pressed, the remaining seed cake, the part most factories would discard, is a powerful organic fertilizer. 5 uses. 1 tree, $2. Water purification. Nutrition, medicine, oil, soil. That is not a plant. That is a philosophy. They buried it because you cannot build an industry around a philosophy. You can only build an industry around a problem. And this tree solves too many. So here is what you do. This is the part they never want you to reach. The practical part. The part where knowledge becomes action and action becomes independence. Water purification with moringa seeds. 8 steps. Step 1. Obtain dried moringa seeds. A bag costs approximately $2. That bag will purify more water than most families use in a month. Step 2. Remove the outer shell. Crack it like a sunflower seed. Step 3. Grind the white kernel into a fine powder. A mortar and pestle works. A clean stone works. Your grandmother's method works. Step 4. Mix 1/4 teaspoon of powder per liter of water. Form a small paste first with a few tablespoons of clean water. Step 5. Stir vigorously for 2 minutes. Fast, circular. This activates the cationic proteins. Step 6. Stir slowly for 5 to 10 minutes. Gentle, patient. This is the flocculation stage. The contaminants are binding, clustering, sinking. Step 7. Let it sit. 30 minutes. Undisturbed. Let the water rest. Step 8. Pour off the top 2/3. Carefully. The clean water rises. The contaminants settle at the bottom. And one more thing, always boil after treatment. Belt and suspenders. Your grandmother would approve. What moringa seed treatment removes: bacteria, viruses, turbidity, organic particles. What it does not remove: heavy metals, chemical pollutants, pharmaceutical residues. For those, you need additional filtration. Allergic reactions are rare but documented. If you are pregnant, nursing, or on medication, consult your healthcare provider before internal use. This is education, not prescription. Growing moringa. Outdoor, USD. A. Zones 9 through 11. Full sun. Well-drained soil. It tolerates drought. This is a tree that evolved in the dry season. Container. Zones 7 and 8. Bring indoors before frost. Plant the seed 1 inch deep. Soil temperature 70 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer. Germination 1 to 2 weeks. First year growth 15 to 20 feet. Yes, 15 to 20 feet in 1 year. First leaf harvest 2 months. First pod harvest 8 to 12 months. $2. 1 seed, 1 year. A pharmacy, a water filter, and a fertilizer factory growing in your backyard. The archive closes. But the moringa tree does not close. It does not stop growing. It does not stop purifying. It does not stop feeding. Every seed you plant is a page in an archive that cannot be erased, because it is alive. And alive things do not stay buried. The archive closes.